for me from the homework. Yes, sir. 14. Number 14 says the number of students in a classroom cannot exceed. So, can not exceed 31. Okay? So that means that we can go all the way up to 31, but we can't have any more than that. Could we have 0 people in a classroom? Yeah, so we could have 0, we could have 31, and we could have any number in between those. Is that all right? No? Okay. Questions else?
So is it discrete?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely discrete. Thank you. And the reason it's discrete is you're counting. Counting the number of people. We don't have fractional amounts of people. Interval notation. Oh, right there. If I wrote the inequality, it would be this. That's the inequality that goes with it. So this is the interval notation. What else do you see on there? What's that? Oh, can I have 0 people? Like, is this classroom empty, like, on and off period? Yeah, so there could be 0 people, so we can include that. And we can't exceed 31. So we can have 31, but we can't have 32. Okay? Unless you're in my first period class and I have 32, 33 including me. Yeah, every seat's taken, including those 2. They want to put one more in, so I guess that one will be taken as well. It happens. No big deal. What else did you see that I could help you with? Yeah.
Number
10? 10? Okay. 10. X over 4 plus x over 2. 12. 12. I had it written, but I said it wrong. Okay. Okay, so first thing we have to think about is our denominators. We have this one, and this one. The smallest number that they all go into would be 12, because 12 goes into 12, right? So I'm going to multiply this by 12 over 1, this by 12 over 1, this by 12 over 1, and then I just multiply that one by 12 because it's not a fraction. Is that okay? So that goes in 3 times, so 3 times x is 3x, plus sign. 12s cancel out, so that's a 1. 1 times x is just x, or 1x. Is less than, 6 goes into 12 twice, 2 times x is 2x, and then minus 12. Okay, let's see. These are some like terms. I'm going to add those together before I start moving things back and forth across the inequality sign. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. Those cancel, so I get 2x is less than negative 12. I'm dividing by a 2. I'm dividing by a positive 2. Even though the other side is negative, what I'm dividing by is not negative. So the sign will not flip over. So I get this. And then we want to write all the answers in interval notation. So I want values less than to the left of negative 6. So like negative 7, negative 8, all the way to negative infinity. So it's going to go from negative infinity to negative 6. And it's a round bracket because I don't have an equal sign. Okay? What else do you see from me, my friends? Other than I have a smudge on my glasses. Yes, sir? 8, you got it. As soon as I go smudgeless. All right. Number 8. Number 8, we have negative 9x is greater than or equal to 36. I'm going to go ahead and divide each side by negative 9. So this sign has to flip over. Those cancel. That gives me x is less than or equal to 36 over 9 is 4. 36 over negative 9 is negative 4. So this is pointing the direction we're going to go forever. We're going to go forever to the left. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks. So we're going to go forever to the left, so like negative 5, negative 6, all the way to negative infinity. So we go from negative infinity to negative 4. Hard or soft bracket? Hard. Why is that? Yeah, because you have that equal sign. That's what makes that a hard bracket. What else do you see, my friends? Yeah. Ooh. So if you had this written like this, okay, I would say for me, it'd probably be fine. Okay. I would think there might be other math teachers, though all the signs are right, there might be some other math teacher that might dock you. I probably wouldn't dock you. The only time that would get docked is like maybe I gave you multiple choice answers. I would have this answer and I wouldn't have that one, so you'd have to realize to flip it over. Okay. Yeah. 7, yeah. So I get 5 is less than n over 8. All right, so let's get n by itself. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 8 over 1, or just 8. So those cancel. So I get 40 is less than n. At this point, I would flip this over. Flip the whole thing over. Now, the sign did not flip over because I multiplied or divided by a negative. I just took it from this to this. I just flipped it over. So now my interval notation, I want values bigger. So it's 40, round bracket to infinity, and we're done. Anything else you'd like to see, my friends? Yeah.
What was the point of flipping it over?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. When you flip it over, this arrow points the direction you go. That's why I like it. So, like, technically, if you left the answer like this, and you got that right, I'm not going to dock that. But I always like, if you have the letter on the left side, the arrow points the direction you should go.
So you just want the variable on one.
Yeah, but if you left it as 40 is less than n, and you had this correct, you're going to nail it. I'm not going to dock your points. Okay. I just do it because Stirrup needs some visuals. So, that's all. All right, we good? Everyone content, happy? All right. Friends, would you open your books to page 73? Page 73 in your books. If you need a piece of paper, I got some paper up there. And would you try right on that homework page, this one, and this one. Try those. See if you can figure that out real quick. That's on page 73. I gotta take attendance. It's not here. Okay. Come on. There we go. Oh, yeah.
this arrow.
Yeah.
Is that thankful that you got this from me?
No.
Oh.
Hey, Jen, for start on, the armed door for West 20, the door labeled West 20, is just beeping. And I tried to on it and then lay on it, and it just keeps beeping. I don't know if there's batteries or anything. Yeah, it's already armed, it just keeps beeping. But all right, let's work these. See what we do. What do you think I should do on the first one before I flip it over? Subtract 3. Cool. So your -4 is less than or equal to x. At this point, I would flip everything over. So I'm going to get x is greater than or equal to -4. And then they wanted us to write it in interval notation. So I want values bigger than -4 and equal to -4. So it's a square bracket at -4. And it goes to infinity. Is that okay? Problem number 4. What should I do to both sides before I flip it over? Divide by 12. Good. If I divide by 12, I get this. At this point, because the letter's on the other side, if you flip it over, the arrow will point the direction you want to go. So I want values bigger than 2, but not included to 2. So it goes from 2 to infinity. What should I do on number 6? Yeah, multiply that by 6 over 1 and that by 6. Those cancel. So I get 12 is less than n. Flip it over because it'll tell you which direction to go. So I want values bigger than 12. So rounded bracket at 12 to infinity. And it is all done. Okay. All right, will you try these? Let's see. Are any questions on those? We okay? Let's try these. Number 8. I'm going to change the A to an X. Yes, sir.
Well, you don't have to go back, but I really want number 4 instead of flipping signs.
Oh, the reason I flip it to this is this arrow tells me direction now. When the letter is first,
Oh, no, okay, I see it now.
and that's all I do. So I use it more as a visual representation. You're not necessarily wrong leaving that as an answer, but sometimes it's kind of hard, and maybe it's just stirrups brain that has a hard time figuring out what that would be because I can't manipulate it in my head.
Okay. I'll just make it clear.
Cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
All right, number 8. I'm going to change the A to an X. Is that okay? Just because my X's are easier to decipher than an A. So try both of these, see how you do. Try that, see how it works out for you. Give you a couple minutes to jump on that. Got another minute. Looks good. It's a good look. I like it. Yeah. These ones you don't have to flip the signs because they're already, the letter's already on the left side. All right, friends, for problem number 8, I think I can multiply everything by 3 over 1 or 3 to get rid of my fraction. Can I do this? And that becomes negative 1 times 2x, or 1 times negative 2x. And then plus 3 times 1, which is 3, is less than or equal to negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. Is that okay to do? And then I could subtract 3 from both sides. And divide by negative 2. Those cancel. Hey, friends, I divided by a negative. So negative 12 over negative 2. What should happen to this sign? It flips over because I multiplied or divided. I didn't flip the whole equation over. I just multiplied or divided by a negative to flip it over. So I want values including 6 and bigger than 6. So it's going to be a hard bracket at the 6, and it goes to infinity. That's our interval notation. Problem number 10. Add 10 to both sides. Those cancel out, so I get x is less than 5. So I want values less than 5. So that's going to go from negative infinity to 5. And yeah, that works. Questions on those two? You feel okay about them? Where are you not comfortable with them, my friend? All right. I want to hit every word problem. So I'm doing them, I read them out loud. But give it a try first. I sure did. Thanks for the keen eye. All right, so let's take a look at these problems. Again, because they're word problems, let's talk about them. So it says your thermostat to stay above 58 but always below 75. So stay above 58 but always below 75. Okay? So stay above 58. So does that mean equals 58 or it stays above it? Stays above it. So 58 but must always be below 75. So above 58. So that means that our house should not be at 58 degrees or 57 or 56. It should be at 75 degrees or 76 degrees if everything's working appropriately. Okay, so the hard thing with discrete and continuous is sometimes, especially your house thermostat would probably show just whole numbers. Agreed? But if you had turned on the heater, the air conditioner, and let's say it was at 59 degrees, to go from 59 to 60, is it automatically jumping up to that, or did it gradually move up to the next temperature, or move down to the next temperature? Gradually. So this is continuous data. Okay? But that's hard to think about because, again, your thermometer only reads whole numbers. But it doesn't magically just jump. So there's all those decimals in between numbers to make it continuous. A high school student should have no more than 2 hours of homework per week per class. I hope I'm abiding by that in here. No? I bet you I am. Okay. I think I'm holding it true, but I know there are some teachers that get a little goofy, don't they? All right. So could I have 0 hours of homework? Sure. So 0 could be included. Agreed? Do the best we can. We'll see. Oh, I like that. No more than. No more than. No more than. So it's got to be 2. Could I have 2 hours of homework? I think so. No more than. Yeah, I think we can have 2. Okay. So is it either 0 or 2 hours? Or could we have 31 minutes, 7 seconds, and those seconds keep going to little tiny decimals? Yeah, I mean, we usually read by, we could see by seconds sometimes. I mean, on our phones, we don't necessarily have the seconds showing. This clock up here, other than the blinking dots in the middle, doesn't really show the seconds. But time has to keep moving. So this is also continuous data. Okay? Because you can have fractions of seconds. Even though that our timepieces aren't reading it, they still exist. Okay? A parking lot can hold no more than 120 cars. No more than 120 cars. So can we have 120 cars sitting in a parking lot? Yeah. What's the fewest cars that we could have in a parking lot? 0. We couldn't have like -6 cars, could we? So discrete or continuous? Discrete, because a car, doesn't matter if it's big or small, we're not going to count portions of cars. Okay. You're going through a parking lot going, oh, sweet, it's a real close thing. And then you got one of those smart cards that's like 1.5 feet long. Like, oh, I feel like parking behind those guys. Add a deli counter. The server opens a new 15-pound package of turkey breast. Okay. You can order any amount up to 15 pounds. Okay. Can you order no pounds of turkey? Yeah, you could get ham or bacon or something. So we can have 0 pounds of turkey, and I can go up to 15 pounds. Would I include 15? Yeah. So again, our scales that are measuring amount of mass are going to be rounded off at some amount, okay? Some decimal amount. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 decimal places, but theoretically, weight can be any mass. It just depends on the accuracy. So this has to be continuous. Okay? Then the last one. There are fewer than 115 planes left to take off from DIA today. I guess they have a schedule. They could know that. I don't know. Could more planes take off? I don't know. I think sometimes with flight. So there are fewer than 115 planes. Okay? So fewer than. It's not going to include it. We're going to go all the way down to how many planes? Well, hopefully we go down to 0 planes. So we can have 0 planes all the way up to fewer. The word fewer than 115 means we didn't have 115. It's like, how many planes left? There's fewer than 115. I don't know. It doesn't sound like the greatest conversation. But is an airplane an airplane? Like, they could have a really small plane, but they could have that big old 747, right? That 2-story, or what's the one that's 2-story all the way down? Like 747 had the weird hump over the front. There's one of the planes that has 2 stories all the way back, which that's a big plane. So this has to be discrete data because it doesn't matter the size of the plane. We didn't have a fraction of a plane take off. I guess if you have a fraction of a plane take off, that's there might be some big trouble there. So my friends, I would say, first off, how do we feel about this stuff so far? Seem kind of there? Iffy? All right, so I would say let's have page 73 and 74 done. I did the evens and I did all the word problems. So now you just have the odds to work on. And the odds not counting the word problems because we got those done. Sound good? You have the remainder of the period to work on it. And if you happen to get that all done, that means you're not going home with homework for my class. Unless you owe me something.